Hello, this is Alex Calvo Garcia. You're listening to the Iron Hour podcast.
Hey up, and thanks for joining us once again on the INR podcast. It's Barra here. The episode this week will be slightly different due to our availability, but we're hoping, lucky for you, the common denominator will be Max, who can hopefully take you through this episode as it's split up into different segments. So there's quite a lot to talk about. I've been out of the country now for, I think, just coming up to 2 weeks, and it seems that so much has happened. I can't actually keep up with all the comings and goings, to be honest with you. There's a couple of things I really wanted to get off my chest before I hand over to everybody else, but I am pleased to say, joining me for now is the infamous Max Bell. How are you doing, Max?
Feeling infamous. Obviously, my camera's bust, but people have always said I've got a face for radio, so I think it's an improvement.
Indeed, it is. Or not. Sorry.
Right. No, go on. Hot topic. The goalkeeper issue. Before we go on to discuss that, because I'm sure on the pod we'll have different views. What's your views right now on it? Because that can ebb and flow. You know, we all change our minds at various points. But can Maison Campbell fill the shoes, or more accurately, the gloves of Ross Fitzsimmons?
Yeah, I'm still backing Mason Campbell massively. I think he's in a really tough situation now. It almost feels that that fans are queuing up now to get stuck into him. It's like they're queuing up for him to make a mistake. And to be honest, I get some of it. I do get some of the criticism. You know, they're professional footballers playing for the football club we love. They're always going to get that a level of criticism. But I do feel, and I don't know if anybody else feels like this, but I do feel like it's just started to go over that tipping point. And as I say, for me, it really does feel now like certain fans, a few fans, a select number of fans are queuing up and just waiting on that next mistake. It's got shades of Rory Watson about it for me. And don't get me wrong, you know, Watson, it didn't end very well for him at Scunthorpe United. And, you know, I don't think you could blame the fans for that, but I don't think we helped. And I don't think we're helping now, if I'm being honest. Again, people on this podcast will have different views. Fans of our club will have different views. I totally accept that. I just think we need to be a bit more patient with him.
No, I think that's harsh, probably for a couple of reasons. Firstly, look, it's a lesson for life, not just for football, isn't it? If you see a dozen comments on any given topic on social media, that's always going to be a minority, no matter what the view is. You know, that's just part of life. But equally, I would say, look, it's, you know, I think saying fans are queuing up and waiting for a mistake. Even the people who would admit to being critics of Campbell, I do think that's a bit harsh. You know, nobody wants anything other than success for the football club. And this is a tough one. You know, when you look at the transfer business that's happened so far, when you look at the players who've come in to replace the players who've gone out, goalkeeper is the one outstanding issue. I think Campbell's situation probably would have been slightly easier for him. Ironically, had we not been promoted, it would have been easier for goalkeeper to progress from number 2 to number 1 as a youngster in the National League North, rather than going, right, we've been promoted, we've lost our goalkeeper, now's the time to pass the baton on in what is going to be, and what always is, a really, really tough league.
Well, do you know what, Max? I think the one thing we've probably got wrong, the one way that the club, and actually probably Butts, if he's being honest with himself, hasn't handled it well, is if the plan was always Campbell is going to be number 1 this season, regardless of the division we're in, I don't understand why he wasn't sent out on loan last season. I just don't get that. If this was always a plan, and it's not, you know, it's not a case of, oh, we're panicking and we've just decided now that we can't get a better keeper, and so now we're going to back him. If this was always the plan, which I'm led to believe it is, this is what I've been informed. This was the plan for at least the last couple of months. If Fitzsimmons left, Campbell was going to step up. What I can't understand is why we didn't then send Campbell out to get some much needed game time. That's the one kind of criticism I would have of the club, if I'm being brutally honest. That would be the one thing I think, if they had the time again, I'd like to think they would do differently. However, Butler, from what I've heard from little bits and bats, is certainly coming out to bat for Campbell, which, you know, I'm personally, I think it's a good thing. I think it's good that he's coming out to defend his players, because for me, managers should only really be publicly criticising the players if it's an attitude thing, if it's lazy attitude or someone's missing training or, those kind of negative character qualities that can creep into a team. When it's none of those things and it's just this lad is now under extreme pressure, Butler has to come out and back him, which he is doing, and I wouldn't criticise him for that.
No, I think as well, would we say that the situation has perhaps not gone as well as the club were hoping in the last few weeks, because rightly or wrongly, there was always going to be a little bit of scrutiny in Campbell. It's big shoes to fill with Fitzsimmons going, and look, friendlies are friendlies, but he has made mistakes. He's made mistakes that have cost us goals, and one at Botsford where it was very fortunate that he didn't. How, if Campbell is going to be the number one, how do you get past that little first bump in the road?
It's incredibly difficult now because it's getting close to a point because of this is my opinion, because of some of the fan reaction. It's getting close to a point of no return. We're not there yet. This can still be turned around, and it's.
Even in pre-season, you think it's close to the point of no return, even without a single competitive game?
I don't personally feel that it is, but I mean, the fan reaction is telling me that this is going to bubble over very soon if this carries on, even before the season starts. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. But then I always think with any player, what problem can't be fixed by a good performance? If Campbell starts the season positively, who will care? But if he doesn't, if he is struggling, if we're struggling, if he's making mistakes, if the defence in front of him is making mistakes, that would be an issue, even if the fan reaction were amazing, wouldn't it?
It would be, but the problem that you've got is if we get to the start of the season, right, and let's say we have one or two more errors, whatever you want to call it. I'm reluctant to use that word because I don't want to go in on, I really don't want to go in on a young goalkeeper. And I use those two words, young. I think this guy's growing, and I think we need to be mindful of that. And two, goalkeeper, it's a lonely position, man. It's, I can own, like, you probably guessed the kind of angle that I'm shooting this from. I'm thinking if this was my lad, right? And it makes me quite sad, some of the reaction. But yeah, performances can and will turn this around. There's no doubt about that. But what I'm saying when I say it's getting close to the point of no return is I feel that if we start the season without this having got better and, the first 5 games don't go well, the pressure is insane then because we're on the back foot if we do want to get a new keeper in. I just feel like it is getting close to that point. But I would say this to Mason: you absolutely are good enough to turn this around. Listen, mate, you're not, to paraphrase Max, you are not a total knobber. You've come through an academy. You're a very competent keeper. The management team have seen you for 18 months over the 2 spells. Clearly, they have significant trust in you. And because of that reason, that's why I also have significant trust in him. I genuinely think he can turn this around. And this will be a non-conversation in 2 or 3 months. Fingers crossed. Okay, well, that kind of sums up my views on the goalkeeper situation. Let's quickly have a little look at the National League Cup, because again, more controversy whilst I've been away. So the news broke, I guess, that we've entered the National League Cup. We've been put into Group D with the likes of Leeds United, Middlesbrough, Newcastle, Sunderland, Boston, Halifax, Gateshead, and Scunny. Now, for me, this is an interesting one because I'm really glad. No, that's wrong. I'm not disappointed that we're in this tournament because if we win this, there's like serious money on the line here. We're in a situation where we don't have a reserve team. We don't have an under-21 or an under-23 team. So the squad, which is growing by numbers, we have no way of keeping all the players happy other than the Lincolnshire Cup to ensure that players are getting good game time. So for me, an extra competition, as long as we're not fielding our best 11 every single time, but a competition, another cup competition, where at least we're guaranteed quite a few games because of the group format, is a good thing. I think so anyway, because the likes of, Joey Dawson, is he going to start for the Iron in our league matches? I don't know. But I would suggest he's definitely a shoo-in for these cup games. So that's kind of my angle, and that's my take. I think it's a good thing that we are we have at least an extra opportunity to field players. Now, the cup itself comes with a lot of controversy. I understand that. But if we're not playing friendlies and we're not playing reserve games, I would say to fans, what do we want? Because these players have to play. Otherwise, they're not going to stay. And also, when we do rely upon them for big league games, when we need them, they're out of nick. They are out of nick. We have to make sure our players are playing and performing at a decent level. So when we rely upon them, they can step up and make that transition. The other factor, which I touched on briefly, was obviously the financial factor. The club have spoken at length about the need for funding, the need for more finances. I look at the potential prize pot, and it is significant. It is a significant prize pot. If we went on a good run, and even if we won this cup competition, it could have a positive impact on the club. And again, that's, I think, another thing which people are overlooking. So, but there we go. They're my two controversial takes this week on the INR podcast. I completely concede they might not be for everyone. And I'm sure the guys are going to come on right now and have different views to me. But that's the beauty of this podcast for me. I think we all have different takes, and it would be wrong for us and remiss of us not to tell you what we think exactly. So thank you for sticking with me, and I'll hand over to Max now. We'll take through to the rest of the episode.
Hello, listeners, viewers. I imagine quite a few of you will be disappointed to notice that my camera's now working again. So you don't just get to hear me, you get to see me as well. Thank you for listening and tuning in, however you get your podcasts, to the Iron Hour podcast. As I suspect you gathered from the previous clip, my name's Max Bell. I was joined there by the one and only Andy Barraclough, who dialed in from the US of A, so we had to make the time differences work. But I feel like we've got an upgrade here, not with me, but definitely going from Barra to Gareth. Gareth, how are you, mate? You all right?
I'm good, but I don't know about an upgrade. Putting pressure on me there. Putting pressure on me.
Oh, it's all right. It's only Barra, and I mean, obviously he's been in the States. Your family have been away. It feels like everyone's going away except us.
They're still in the States. My Debbie and Kendall. I don't think they haven't been with Barra. They've not gone with Barra. Just let's make that clear. But they weren't a million miles away. They're still out there for another 8 days.
Oh, lovely. Very nice. Well, poor old Barra's due back any day now. So, safe trip to him. Obviously, Barra there was talking quite passionately about sort of the whole Maison Campbell situation. Yeah. What's your view, Gareth? What's your take on it?
I can see where he's coming from with that. I think I feel the same. I know he's got big shoes. I think whoever we got in, regardless, Mason's in there, but whoever we got in, I think, there's massive shoes to fill there, massive gloves, as you said, in Fitzsimmons, and I think it's a big task for whoever came in. But I just feel that, if that was the plan to have Mason in for this season to start with him, then maybe, just maybe, he should have been sent out on loan with like a 24-hour recall or something last season, just to get used to, because it's all right training well and doing things well in training, but you need that physicality. You need that, we don't have a reserve team or anything like that for him to get game time, and the physicality of it, and, just players around him, bumping him and barging him. And I just feel that, maybe we could have done that, but it is what it is. He's in net, he's in goal. And people are saying he's making mistakes, and he has made a couple of mistakes. I'm sure he'll hold his hands up and say that. But how do you learn from your mistakes? You've got to play football, and he's been thrown in the deep end, as it were. He might not think that. He might think he's ready for it, and obviously the management think he's ready for it. So we've just got to put up with it and go along with it, and wish him well. Basically, not get on his back all the time. Because obviously, people get on your back when you're doing your job. It's not nice, is it? I'm
sure. Like, this probably wouldn't be a secret. Like, you obviously, you're a train driver yourself. You often drive quite close to my house. Like, if I stood atop the footbridge near Scunthorpe train station and just started shouting, "Rubbish, Gareth! Rubbish!"
would it make you drive a train better?
No, I just think of the wages and think, oh well. But no, it's
start flicking the V's at me. I imagine.
Yeah, there's not a lot that I can do wrong. Well, I guess there is on a train, but I don't. It's not the same as being in goal, is it? You know, not having players around me and balls bouncing in my face. Not like Barra.
No. And obviously, you touched there about perhaps if they had last season again, they'd perhaps think to send Campbell out on loan. Is that even more so because he wasn't on the bench for the majority of league games last season? You think, last season we had 5 subs.
Yeah.
This season we had 7. Do you think that the increased number of subs will play a part in terms of potentially signing a goalkeeper? I mean, surely they'll sign a backup to Campbell, even if it's not Campbell backing up someone else.
If he gets injured or sent off or anything like that, I know people say Boyce. It's maybe not as mobile as it was back in the day. But yeah, we definitely need a goalkeeper on the bench, regardless. We cannot go into games with no goal without another goalkeeper in the building. And I think with 7 subs on the bench, one of them's got to be a goalkeeper. So yeah.
Yeah, and obviously then, I guess the question would be, assuming they do sign a goalkeeper, even if it's with a view to a backup, would that potentially increase the pressure on Campbell if there's a keeper on the bench that people look to and think, well, actually, you might give him a go if Campbell starts the season struggling, as it were?
Well, yeah, I think he's got to have somebody there to fight, for that number 1 spot. Well, he's got the number 1 spot, hasn't he? That's what's being said. He's got that already. But I think he needs somebody to keep him on his toes, because it's all right if you know you're the only person in the building that can do that job. Then it doesn't make the difference if you make mistakes or play blinders, whatever. You are in goal week in, week out. So
if you were the only train driver in the whole country, Gareth, would that affect your job?
No, I'd be worried. I'd have a lot of work to do, wouldn't I? I'd go on strike.
Now we're talking. Well, I think we've very much between yourself and Barra discussed the Mason Campbell situation.
I just say,
go on.
I do think people need to get off his back.
Okay, go on.
I don't think it helps, does it? It's not good. But everyone's entitled to an opinion. I get that, but it's just give him a chance.
Look, I always, I think I said something pretty similar to Barra. Football is fickle, but that works both ways.
Yeah.
If Campbell starts the season strongly with 2 or 3 good performances, then the odd snarky comment on Facebook, who cares? People have got short memories, and you can use that to your advantage as well sometimes, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I think if we're going through August and there's mistake after mistake after mistake,
But that would have been an issue anyway, I guess, wouldn't it? Even if everyone was going, this is great. If any player is playing poorly, not just Campbell, then they'll be under pressure, won't they?
Yeah, of course they will. Even the manager.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. No pressure, Andy.
No pressure at all.
Excellent. So looking forward now, obviously we're recording this bit just before the Gainsborough friendly. So work permitting, I think you said you were planning on going, didn't you?
Work permitting, I should be able to go. It's the 1 o'clock kickoff, isn't it? Yeah. So I should make it unless everything goes wrong like it did the other night for me. But yeah, hopefully I'll be there, and hopefully the weather won't be so bad.
Excellent. And I seem to have fond memories of a previous pre-season trip to Gainsborough when you had a bet on that was coming in right until the last minute and you refused to cash out. I'm not making that up, am I?
No, you're not. I can't remember the score. It was a weird score, wasn't it? 5 or 6-0,
something like that.
Something like that, yeah. And we scored, didn't we? We scored an extra goal.
Yes, right in front of us.
Yeah. I just went quick enough with my finger. Before.
Oh, behave. This isn't carry on. Barra would be gutted he's missed this. He'd love a job like that.
Oh, he loves the finger.
Whereas, ironically, the reason Marco can't join us tonight, I believe, is too busy burning his fingers making pizza. So, what are you looking forward to at the Gainsborough game, and what are you hoping to get out of the game? What do you want to see from Scunthorpe?
I'll be honest. Looking forward to pie, chips, and gravy.
Oh, now we're talking.
Yeah, the food is always good at Gainsborough, so it's well worth a visit just for the food. But no, out of the game, once again, you don't want to see any injuries, do you? You want to see the team passing it, playing well, shouting. You know, you want to hear voices. But yeah, just another good run out. I think get the legs moving, the lungs burning, and yeah, it'd be nice to have some more goals. Yeah, and I think for Mason as well, if you can keep a clean sheet, that'll do him a world of good.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know, Gainsborough, you know, they're going to be a tough side. So yeah, it should be a good game. Always is when we play Gainsborough early.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah,
and
if we can get out of it with no injuries again out of the game, then happy days.
And there's usually a good turnout there down at North Home as well. The only little tip I would give Iron fans is at the time of recording, so late on Thursday evening. Would you believe it, given the recent heat, but the forecast for Saturday afternoon against Gainsborough is actually really bad. Not just in Gainsborough, but quite all over, really, the Midlands and the north of England. There's quite a lot of rain forecast. So my advice would be maybe take a brolly. Would you believe it, in July?
Brolly. You do know that's going to get clipped, what you've just said, and that graphic of you stood with the weather map will be used.
Oh, yes. And alternatively, when there's inevitably no rain, you know, you can all turn around and go, it's Michael Fish, you know.
Yes.
There's no hurricane coming tonight, fellas, don't worry. When you're all sunbathing in the open terrace of Gainsborough as, you know, Scunny score a goal or something like that, I'm thinking. Excellent, yes. And as you said, the Photoshop of me sort of doing my best Paul Hudson impression for the fans of Look North. Yeah, I thought it was good. It was a good IT skills, that.
It was. I
wonder who made it, Gareth.
I have no idea. All credit to them.
Excellent. Right then, looking forward to obviously the season. It was last week when the fixtures were released. Tamworth away, opening day of the season. What did you think to that?
I'd have preferred Truro away opening game of the season.
I think everybody would.
Exactly. We can't be that lucky, but no, Tamworth away, why not? It'd be a good test. You know, we've played them before in the opening game of the season. Hopefully we can somehow get the same result. But, yeah,
I'm still not sure how we got that result that day.
I don't know either, but we'll take it again. So, yeah, no, it should be a good test, that. You know, they're up there. They did well last season, probably better than people expected. So, yeah, why not? I think, you know, it's good that it's away as well. Gives our pitch another few more days to, you know, recover and seed, grow, whatever it needs to do. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a good test. We'll be able to, you know, see where we're at a little bit as well.
Definitely. I was just because you mentioned it there, Gareth. I actually just looked up Truro's fixtures because I wasn't sure who they got on the opening day. And would you believe it? They're actually away on the opening day of the season.
Where are they at?
They're away at Wealdstone.
Okay.
And then second day of the season, they're at home to York. But that's actually that's just been moved to a 5:30 kickoff for the enhanced coverage on DAZN. So heaven forbid any York fans who are trying to do that on the night. I think they'll be getting back to York at about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's a long one, that. But speaking of DAZN, they've done me a favour moving the Brackley Scunthorpe game backwards.
Go on.
Because I was going to miss that because of work with a 3 o'clock kickoff, but now it's a 5:30 kickoff. I'll be leaving straight from work and I'll be able to make it. So thank you, DAZN.
Excellent. There we go. There's an endorsement for DAZN. If you're listening, you can clip it. The famous Iron Army saying he's thrilled. Just for any Iron fans who perhaps haven't seen it, obviously that is Brackley away on Saturday, the 30th of August. So that was the Irons' third game of the season. Likewise, has been moved from a 3 p.m. kickoff to a 5:30 kick-off against our fellow newly promoted side, and a bit like Tamworth, we were just saying there. Let's hope for the same result as last season.
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously, I'm just looking at the fixtures now. You've mentioned that Brackley away is one you now can do. Are there any fixtures there that you look at and you think, oh God, no, I don't fancy that. I'm not making the trip there again. Not this time.
Forest Green, but I've got an excuse for that anyway.
Yeah, yes.
Other arrangements now. Happy about that.
I'm delighted to say that I've also been invited to those other arrangements. So I'd just like to say thank you to all the individuals concerned.
Yes, thank you very much.
I dare say the queue for the vegetarian and vegan friendly chips at Forest Green will now be a little bit shorter. I'm just looking at Eastleigh on a Tuesday night. We've already done Eastleigh on a Tuesday night.
We have. No, I don't know. I don't think I'll be doing that. Well, I say I don't think I'll be doing it again, but knowing me, I'll be. If work permits, I'll be in the car probably. You know.
Hartlepool on Boxing Day.
That's cold.
Yeah, I always say, and I mean it, global warming could strike. There could be growing pineapples down Middlesbrough High Street, and Hartlepool would still be -3.
Very true.
Especially
true.
On Boxing Day. I think that stinks of a postponement, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. Definitely.
Excellent. And are there any other fixtures that you're particularly looking forward to? I know you mentioned Truro.
I was looking forward to Carlisle just because it was Kendall's first away day when she was about, 14, 15 months old.
Oh, excellent.
And I said to Deb, let's go to Carlisle again. Take Kendall with us. It's a Tuesday night, so we won't be going.
No, not ironically, past Kendall's bedtime.
Yeah.
Yes, Tuesday the 10th of February. So we can cross Carlisle off. Are there any others that you are looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to the Iron playing the Iron, going down to Braintree.
Oh, new ground for me. I've never done Braintree.
New ground for me as well. So I hope as well that Morecambe pull through all their troubles.
Yeah.
Bizarrely, I've never been to their ground.
Oh, okay.
So I've been to Morecambe many a time. My grandparents used to live just outside in a little village.
Oh, very nice.
I've been to Morecambe loads of times, but not the football ground.
Ah, not the ground. I've been once. I remember going the 13-14 season in League Two, where we dominated the game for about 95 minutes, and then in the 96th minute, Morecambe equalised. I see it's on the Morecambe away. It's on the 17th of January. So yeah. I'm thinking a bit of a breeze coming in from the Irish Sea. It'll be about -5.
Yeah, it'll be all right though. It'll be all right.
Excellent. And yeah, obviously Truro away, I'm very much looking forward to. But it is worth flagging. I suspect most Iron fans will have seen it if they haven't. It's the same weekend as the 5th round of the FA Trophy. So if either ourselves or Truro win 2 games in the FA Trophy, because we come in at the 3rd round, then that gets bagged and moved to a midweek. That's a proper Tuesday night trip. That is, Truro.
Definitely.
And I know quite a few Iron fans, as soon as the fixtures came out, went and booked their hotels for that weekend, that Saturday night. So I'd just like to say, I hope they're free cancellation, Iron fans.
Yeah, I made sure I had a free cancellation, just in case.
Definitely. Otherwise, you might just go, do you know what? We're going down to Cornwall anyway. I've paid for the hotel. We're going. Yeah, and then the other one, which is very much a shame, I believe is on Wednesday, the 1st of October, is York. I will still go and it will still be great. Yeah. York's a city I like very much, but it's just a shame it's a Wednesday night. I would have loved a Saturday. I would have loved.
They're both Wednesdays. Return fixture as well.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's midweek. The York at home is on Tuesday, February the 24th.
Yeah,
which again is a shame. I mean, it's bound to hurt the attendances for both games a little bit. Although when we went to York that season in the National League, and when it finished 0-0, and I think Richie Bennett found, well, never mind the car park, I think he found Selby with that shot. That was midweek, and we still took over 1,000.
Yeah.
So if we start the season all right, I could see the away crowd being very strong, and then, well, by the end of February, if York are right up there, yeah, as I would expect them to be, because the irony is actually by being midweek, we're probably very unlikely to get picked for any kind of TV or streaming coverage.
Yeah,
at least the enhanced option anyway. So we shall see. And then at the end of the season, Eastleigh at home on Saturday the 25th. Let's hope there's nothing riding on it.
Well, yeah. Well, if there is, let's hope it's at the top end of the table.
Yes, absolutely. Although I would admit, I'd be if somebody offered me a nice boring season finishing 14th. Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. See you all in 9 months.
I'm sure we will do the predictions at some point, but I'm thinking 11th.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Yes, I think we'll give folks another couple of weeks. Obviously, the season starts 3 weeks on Saturday, so maybe after the workshop game, I'm thinking when the season's right there,
honest,
we'll nail everyone down. But you've floated 11th out there. I don't think that's unreasonable.
Yeah. I'll be happy with 19th, but yeah.
We shall see. And then one final thing before we let you go, Gareth. Obviously, you've mentioned there Gainsborough on Saturday. Do you want to give us a little pre-match score prediction for the friendly?
Oh, let's have a think. I want a clean sheet, so I'm going to say we are going to win 2-0.
Oh, okay.
What about you?
I think I could see us winning by a couple of goals. I was thinking maybe a 3-1 win.
Yeah.
A bit like you said earlier, I could see Gainsborough being a decent test.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Let's remember though, they haven't got Derek Howe up front now.
No, that's very true. So I'll guess that their score will be Johnny Margetts on that basis then.
More than likely. Yeah.
Excellent. Right, thank you very much for tuning in, Iron fans, as always. As Barra mentioned earlier, we thought we'd mix it up a little bit for the format just this time around, just to try and squeeze in everyone's availability. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We hope to bring you another podcast soon. Up the iron.
Up the iron.